Hey, Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Well, so this past year in 2025, we took some big leaps and bounds of some projects that, at first it seemed like it was going to be small, and then it got bigger, then it got very ambitious, and now it got pretty big. We've had the opportunity to work with some of the best musicians I've probably ever met in my entire life, and not just musicians, but different producers, engineers, assistants, interns, all these people that are just amazing to work with. And it was very inspiring. It wasn't just the writing of the songs like it's always been for me, but it was watching songs come to life that in ways that you got to take a couple steps back. When we started working with the producer Gordon Mote, he took what we had and showed us vision that was just beyond anything that I thought these songs could be. Even to the point when we're starting to get the final mix of the first album, we started getting the final mix of the songs in for Chasing Echoes, and literally we started crying. And that's not just a little joking thing. It was just such a powerful moment to hear something that, was me goofing off on electric or acoustic guitar some nights and writing some goofy words down and saying, oh, this is going to be a fun song. This is going to sound cartoony, but all of a sudden that song sounding like something that you would see in, a 3D, Disney Pixar movie that came to life that way. And it's because you work with these people who are above and beyond, that do this for a living, and they hear these songs and put this different flavor on it that it's amazing and inspiring to the point that we said, hey, this can't stop like this. We can't lose this momentum. And
we haven't.
No, we haven't.
You recorded some new music too, didn't you?
We did. We had the fabulous Miss Brianna Key come down and come to our little studio right here. And Chip laid down some more demos and sent them out to our friends in Nashville. We got some instrumentals done, and then she came down for us to do the vocals.
The little thing about Brianna too is she's actually the assistant to the producer of our first album, and only 25 years old, which, there's a 20-year age gap there. And we saw how talented she was just working with our other producer, that we said, well,
come on down.
She wants to get her chops in the industry anyway and be doing this kind of thing full time on her own eventually one of these days. So we said, hey, we've got 3 or 4 more songs that we can make an EP out of.
Right.
So instead of going and, hiring the whole crew to get back together, because there is a magic when you get into the studio with all those guys and they're all playing together at one time. But we were like, we got 3 or 4 more songs and we got some time, so why don't we go and, instead of losing that momentum, have Brianna come down. She's been a great help to us, and we get along with her great. We work with her really well, and we said, why don't we just go, call the drummer that played on Chasing Echoes and send him the demos. We'll call the bass players, and since we know that those two work well together, and we'll call one of our other friends that was one of the guitar players, and he plays, he's the lead guitar player for Alabama and plays at the Grand Ole Opry and all these things. And we know he plays a plethora of instruments. So you'll hear him all over the Chasing Echoes album playing fiddle, mandolin, acoustic guitar. I mean, he's all over the place. So we knew we could, depend on that. And we could, so it'd be a little bit lower budget, but it'd be just as great quality. And to get just as great quality, you need to have somebody behind the mixing board and producing that can just bring your vision to life. So
when is that? When do you guys anticipate giving us some sneak peeks from that?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yes, we've been speaking with Brianna quite a bit. She's still working on some of the stuff for our album that's coming out here.
Yeah, for Chasing Echoes. And then sometime this spring, we would say, ish.
But it's really cool because you've got this overlay with all these
Yeah.
people. Because I mean, we're working with probably 12 to 14 people at once, and so there's going to be a time period like right now where she's kind of faded out because she's been working with the producer this whole time, and now that she's her job with him is kind of starting to come to a finish. All of those mixes are going to the main mix engineer. So he's working on getting all the mixes done. So Brianna's got some time off. So we say, here, Brianna, here's some new songs. Since we have to wait on the mixing part because we're kind of out of it now because we've done all of our tracking and whatnot. So Brianna, instead of just sitting there and doing nothing while we're waiting to do other songs, we said, hey,
Come down, record.
come down and record.
So
we did.
basically, this year is going to be just a lot of new releases. So it's going to be a plethora of
Yes.
So we're
new
gonna-
music coming out.
Yes, we're going to release Chasing Echoes.
Yes.
We're going to go back to the studio and
Well, that's the thing. We're not just going back to the studio. We're doing Chasing Echoes, and then Brianna's going to release
the
the
EP.
3-song EP.
And then we are going to go back to the studio to track and record more and
10 more
keep
songs.
going.
That's completely.
That's a whole
other
nother
project, too.
album.
Oh wow.
So yeah, we're going and bringing the whole, like I said, that magic that happens
that's
when
awesome.
everybody's together. We're going down in March to. We already have probably
Back to Nashville.
back to
Back to
Nashville,
Nashville.
up to the castle
What
up in
about,
Nashville.
What about some live shows? Are you guys gonna sprinkle in some? Give us some
We
treats and give us some
played
live
one
shows?
New Year's Eve.
Yes.
And
New Year's Eve. How'd that go?
well, it went pretty well. The funny part is that our kids made more tips than we did because the kids came with us to that show and our kids, and they especially our daughter was singing along because she has heard all these songs so much now, and people noticed and they thought it was cute. They thought it was adorable. So I think she made as much tip money as we did,
That's awesome.
Yes,
and she
we
was
didn't-
very excited about it.
I heard somewhere that tip money was going to go to the photographer or the videographer.
No,
Oh, snap! That was
Somebody
quick.
posted about it online.
no, I think they're reading like into some Reddit boards or something that I
Fair enough.
Stay
I
off
don't
the
get on
Reddit
there. I
boards.
just
Fair enough,
I look
fair
it
enough.
up. So
Fair enough.
no, but our son was watching the New Year's Eve ball drop on his iPad, but he was like mouthing along to some of the words, so they gave him a tip.
That's awesome.
And by that point, they had made more tips than we had.
Yeah.
But that, there's it's pretty cool because for the first time in my 25 years of playing, I took a break last year and only played. I normally play 40 or 50 shows a year, and I
And
think I played.
Gordon warned us,
Gordon's the producer.
and he said, "Once you guys do this, you will want to keep doing this once you understand what these guys come in and do with your songs or what you ask them to do with your songs or whatever." And he'll say, if this is the first mountain of writing that you've done in a while, he said, you will keep going. He has not been wrong.
We can choose, do we still